Hello, everybody. Okay, so I have something in my hand that is a little bit of a secret. Not entirely. It is yesterday's rusty bookmark, but it is finished with some input of viewers. And I'm going to show that in just a second here. But first, we're going to take a look at the list. The prompt list for today, we're on day 18. It says handmade stencil and a notepad. So that's what we have to work with. And you know what else I forgot in the rust bookmark day is I forgot the animal for that day. There's also an animal for today. So handmade stencil, notepad, animal that was pre-assigned for the day and is in here, and tea, because tea and cookies, because we're having our own little snack thing during December, and this is my English tea shop advent calendar, and we are on day 18, so we're going to pull number 18 right out of here. There we go. And we're going to see what's in there. And hopefully it's delicious. And I had some macarons that I was also pulling out a random flavor and pairing it with the tea, but I have run out. So I have these two little tiny chocolate chip cookies for tea and cookies today. And the tea for today is going to be Energize Me, which I'm doing this late at night, so I'm not entirely sure this is a good idea. Herb tea with spearmint, peppermint, blackberry, and ginseng. Oh, gosh, that sounds refreshing, though. And I still have a bit of a sore throat going on from the COVID business. So it sounds like it might be, really settling for my throat and my stomach. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about being energized at night, but you know, we're just gonna go with it. If I'm up all night, then I'm up all night. I'll get more art done. And here is my supplies for today. Let's just set it aside for a second so I can brush some of the rust remnants and the coffee remnants and tea remnants from some other stuff I was doing and bring back the rusty bookmark. So I got three different suggestions. I got three different suggestions. One was to say Sew Fabulous, because I said it was for a sewing journal. I didn't use that idea because I realized that I really didn't stick to the sewing theme, even though that's what I had originally started out with in my brain. So I think I'm going to make another one of this bookmark and use that phrase and stick to the sewing bit a bit more. The other two that I got were use the words from the tea bag for that day, and the tea bag for that day was revive me or something. It was very similar to today's, wasn't it? Energize me. Okay. Anyways, and the other idea was to use the word trust that I had picked up during the video and just take the T off and just have it say rust. So I ended up using both of those ideas, and here's what happened. There is the bookmark. I dried it under a super heavy steel weight that I have, so it ended up flat enough for a bookmark for my purposes. You can see it's still pretty bumpy. Revive Me was the tea, and I figured out that the colors in the Revive Me tea, the container for the tea bag, were very friendly with rust colors and patina colors and what have you. So I cut out the Revive Me part and put a couple more gears around it, and I cut out this piece that was on the back and put a couple more of these tiny ones down here, so then I would have three of them. So I used that idea, and then I liked the other person's idea to cut off the T and just use the rust part. but I also liked it that trust was in there. So this is what I ended up doing with that idea on the back. That is the original word. I did in fact cut off the T, but I made another one. So it still says trust. It just says it in a little bit of a different way. And I colored this a little bit so that it fit more of the rust color and is a little bit off of the pink that it was originally. So I ended up using both ideas. I liked both those two ideas. I'll end up using the other idea too. I really needed sparks to my brain, and viewers helped do that. So for today's, I am hoping to move a little bit quickly today, just because it is actually late and I want to get this video up before tomorrow. That's a good idea. I don't really have any other reason than I just want to be done for today. I just want to be done. I'm tired. So I did a couple things ahead of time. One is to take this paper that I have. This is from a Your Creative Studio box from a long time ago. And each page of this notebook had a double sheet. And then it had a perforation in the middle, and you could tear that apart. And what I did was I tore a few of them apart and glued them back together at the center, so that now I have this little square size notebook. This is a little friendlier to be putting in a journal, and it's not too many pages. I think there's only 5. Oh, there's more than 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7. But I don't know if you've been watching Louisa Heinzel's Do You Remember, but I, like her, am getting a way too chunky monkey journal. So I need to try to keep thickness down a little bit. So there is my notebook. It's just a little one. Happy for, oh, bird. Look at, this is my cat sticking his feet in the water and tipping the water all over my desk. Yep. Every time he comes up on the desk now, I have to tell him, no feet in the water, Malik. Oh, good grief. But the rest of them are all like this. Now, if you tune in more than once, if you tune in any of these follow-up, you'll see these stains on the corners of all my papers, and you'll go, "Aw, that's the kitty marks." So today's handmade stencil and notebook, I want to make a cover and a backing for this notebook. So I want the cover to go all the way around it, which it looks like it will. And here's the stencil that I made. So when I was a kid, I loved making snowflakes, right? And maybe I'll just do this half. I wanted it to be, oh, I could totally do that. Okay, I'm thinking to myself and talking to you at the same time, which does not, now I don't know what I'm doing. So I could make this a side opening notebook, right? So I could fold it that way. So I could do this stencil in half like this. It would give it a little more body and cause a little less problems while I'm trying to color. But I don't know, coloring 2 layers might be hard. I don't know how this is going to do for a stencil. I cut this out of vellum, and it is going to be, it's going to stick to whatever I use to paint, and it's going to pop up when I don't want it to. And which side should I do, do you think? This side? Or this side? I think this side goes with this bird better. Or does this side? You know what? Let's cut out the bird first, because I'm going to cut out the bird and a little bit of his surrounding area. First, I should make sure that whatever I want to keep is inside the bounds of this note card. So I'm just gonna, I'm not going to follow this when I cut it out, but I'm going to try to stay inside that square anyway. Okay, so see, I could go up a little higher because, yeah. Let's cut with our deckle edge scissors. So it'll look like I was doing a torn edge, but I really wasn't. Sometimes I actually do torn edges when I want an authentic sort of thing. And I want those torn edges, right? There we go. All right, so this guy is going to go on the front of this notepad. And he's either going to be sitting on this kind of section or this kind of section or this kind. Oh, I like that. Or this kind. I also like that. So I think we're going to try the stencil on this side of the paper then, and I wanted it to be leafy and viney, because those are my favorite things. Leafy and viney bits. The problem here is I don't know how to get color on here and my stencil on here and have this thing hold still. So I'm just going to try this. I'm just going to try taking a mossy kind of green ink pad, and I'm just going to try pushing it on there. I don't know how much this is going to work. I don't know how much. Well, it's working. I guess, not really though, huh? It's kind, I mean, I see color going down, but you can't tell what it is I'm doing. If I just do a lot more. Some of the shapes are not at all what I intended them to be. It's kind of crazy. All right, I'm trying something different. Let me reach behind me for the forest moss, because it's my favorite. Maybe this one has a bit more ink in it and will work better. I don't know. I'm getting lines though. I don't like lines. I don't want lines in it. Nope, that certainly isn't going to work. So this whole handmade stencil thing, I think I can just own that I kind of failed at that because this is not strong enough to be a stencil. We'll see what happens when I'm done doing this though. Let's just keep doing this. Here's what I found out about when you make mistakes. When you make mistakes or you think something isn't turning out, one of the important things to do is to just keep doing that thing anyway. Because a lot of times what can happen is what was a mistake can now turn into a feature. And if that doesn't happen, you still have an even sort of thing to work with. So maybe I'll end up showing what I can do if I end up super hating this. But right now I'm going to show what can happen if you just keep going with, just keep going. Honestly. Why won't that part, ink won't go in that part. It just doesn't wanna. Okay. I'm kind of twisting. I think I'm going to end up with lines that aren't great. I think I don't care. Ready? Let's see. Yeah, that's a big fat mess. That's what that is. That is not a very good stencil. I wonder though, I wonder if the back side of it, wait, I'm gonna spray the paper. So just so it's a little damp, super misty spray, right? Misty, kind of all over, and then see what happens if I just press this into the paper. Will that be any different, any better, any what? This isn't the side I want to use. Oh, look at the vellum curling up. Look at this. Oh, too funny. Too funny. Beautiful, beautiful. That's actually kind of neat. Okay, so this would have been a good stencil if I had made it out of a better product. As it is right now, it's just adding a big fat mess to this page. Oh, let's see. What do I want to do? I have an idea, but it would mean I have to get this lined up basically where it was before. That's actually kind of it right there. Okay, let's let that sit there for a second. And oh, okay, wait. Okay, my idea is this. I did get this out. I didn't use it to start with. I probably should have. That was silly of me. But this is a repositionable glue stick. So I'm just gonna put this in some key areas, right? And try to get this to sit still for me so that I can do some movement with a brush, maybe. I'm not sure. A brush or a dauber. Ah! Okay. A couple more. Just a couple more spots. There we go. Not trying to get the whole thing because that would take all night long, but let's try to get this. Can't see what I'm doing. Oh, there we go. Oh, it follows the line. That's right, I did that. It would help if I would remember details like that. Okay, let's press this down. Get some adhesion where that repositionable glue stick is. So it shouldn't do any, you know, permanent thing to the paper. I should still be able to pull this vellum off when I'm done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, so there is a couple parts I'm gonna go fight with because they're extra curly. Let's get the extra curly ones to behave. I suppose this is kind of like this is kind of destined to fail actually, because vellum curls up when you put anything with any moisture at all on it, and I'm trying to put repositionable glue on vellum, so of course it's adding to the curl up. Good grief. Good grief. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna do this. Do this, do this, do this. Squish, squish. Come on, kids. Behave. This is as good as I need it, really. So here's what I'm gonna try to do. I am going to get a dauber that's not used yet and get my spray bottle. I'm going to use the bottom of my teacup. Let's use the bottom of my teacup and just spray a little water in it. That's a lovely little cup right there. Look at it doing dual duty. Okay, so I'm going to get my dauber wet. and see what happens if I just kind of slide some of this color around. Will this make it any better? Will it do anything any different? Will I be able to see those vines anywhere? Here, let's get some more color and some water. There we go. I'm gonna pat this a little. Let's see if we can muss up the edges. Oh, this is looking kind of promising, guys. I'm going to get some more, and I'm going to spray some more water in there because I'm noticing some stuff I'm liking. I'm noticing that it's kind of mussing up the lines enough. I noticed that it's getting in where I wanted it to look viney, and it just wasn't looking viney. So, I mean, what I won't know until we pick this up now is it too wet now? Is it just going to look like a big mud puddle? Who knows if this is going to look like a big mud puddle? I don't think I need this all to work out. I just need a strip that will cover that piece. And only the front needs to look good. So, I mean, maybe, right? Some more and another squirt of water and we're almost done. And we get to see if this is going to work. Whoa, don't pick up, make a big mess. Don't make a big mess. Okay. I totally should have used the repositionable glue stick right from the beginning, because it's making my vellum stencil much easier to use. And I will have to remember that because I used to love making snowflakes when I was a kid, and now I have a reason to do it. I could make myself more stencils. I could make a completely unique stencil for a project, use it a couple of times for that project, and then throw it away, and somebody would have a completely unique piece for in their journal. Ready? Are you ready? Eee, I'm nervous. All right, let's see if this did any better. If you make funny noises, it's better. All right. I like it. Okay, it's not perfect. I learned a few things. But look at this part right here. This is nice and viney, right? And leafy and stuff. And it just needs to be a background for this birdie. And most of it's going to get covered up anyway. Because it's only this big. Oh, look, he's too fat. No, maybe he goes like this. Okay, parts of this are too fat. How did I do that? I stayed within the lines. Goodness sakes. Goodness sakes, man. I have a misbehaving bird. I'm also gonna, you know what? I'm gonna should bring this on screen. I'm gonna cut down quite a bit more actually, because I'm so happy with parts of this stencil background I made on a Louisa Heinzel paper. I think it's Louisa Heinzel paper. That I want more of it to show, and I want this birdie to be surrounded by leaves, kind of just like that, right? Is it right there? Kind of right there. Little birdie. Okay, so one thing we gotta do though is we gotta edge around the birdie now. And I'm gonna use the same moss green and I'm gonna go in a little bit. Not as much up by his head, I guess, because I cut that really close. There we go. Okay. So now we got our little birdie sitting on a log in the jungle or the forest or the meadow edge. I mean, if it's a meadow, it doesn't have a tree, does it? A meadow is a big open space, no trees. Okay, so we need to let this dry a few minutes before we cut it or it's going to make a big fat mess. So let us try some Energize Me tea. Kind of hilarious for nighttime, I'm telling you. The medium to light tea. I didn't show you this yesterday either. Or maybe I did. No, I showed you during the Your Creative Studio box, but this came in the Your Creative Studio box. It's a little thick to use in a journal, so I'm using it for my tea coaster. It's a lovely little crocheted doily. All right, let's try this tea. Energize Me. Spearmint, peppermint, blackberry. What else did it say? Huckleberry? Oh, no. Ginseng. Spearmint, peppermint, blackberry, and ginseng. I have to say this is among the favorites in the package. The coconut passion fruit one was also a favorite. And I think there was another one that I would put in the top 3. This one is super tasty. The mint isn't super strong mint. It's just a hint of coolness on the back of the blackberry. Yum. Now let's try it with a little mini cookie. I'll try my tea dipped in my cookie, or you know. Okay, I don't know how I feel about this cookie. It's nothing special, but I gotta tell ya, that that tea is good. That's good stuff. All right, I think I'm gonna try to get two choices out of this. So I'm going to cut this right down that center line that I had originally had, the fold. Okay. And then let's mark the width on both of these. Where'd I put the pencil? I always put my pencils away on myself. Okay, it's got to be a little bit inside that mark. And let's mark this one over here. And a little bit inside that mark. All right. So let's get 2 different options. And I think it's, gosh, this is a guessing game. Because that pencil's just too fat and made a mark that's not really great. But we can trim later. It doesn't matter. It's okay. It's okay. We can trim. We are paper artists. We can trim. It's entirely true. Okay, I think I cut that one too close too, but what did I say before? It's okay, because we can trim. Okay, I'm just going to fold each one of these right in half. because these notebooks that I made, this little notepad that I made is thin enough that it's gonna nestle right up in there and make its own sort of little spine. So I don't mind that I'm folding it tight. All right. I can also adjust that if I want to. It can go farther to the back or front, depending on what this looks like. So there's one option, and there's our birdie on it, and it would cut off right there. Let's see. That's not a blank sheet of paper. That's not going to help. Let's try this. So it would cut off right there. Is that right? No. Right there. So it would look like that. That's kind of cute. The stencil doesn't really show anything. You don't really see anything that I did, but it does add dimension and color. So, I mean, it's not exciting, but it's okay. It's okay. Oh, this side's really nice. Can I make an upside down notebook? Maybe it's okay if it comes from the top. Let's see what that looks like. I usually have a problem with that kind of stuff. Oh, it looks decent though, but it would be covered up. I mean, it would be gone. I mean, it would be right there. Let's see that. That actually looks pretty nice. Let's see what else we got for options. We also have this for an option, which I'm noticing is also upside down for my taste. And I'm going to do this time. I'm going to fold this in. And I'm going to fold the back in. So we can kind of see better what it's going to look like. There we go. Better. This gives me a much better idea. So there is a little birdie on a notebook. Kind of okay with that. Not totally okay with that. What about this one? I think this is the winner. I'm glad I tried all of them because I think this is the winner, guys. This is totally the winner. Yay. Yep, this is the winner. Okay, so here's why I'm liking this one best. First of all, the leaves are going in the wrong direction, which, yes, that kind of bugs me because that kind of stuff always bugs me. I could make it. I could still make it a sideways one. I'm gonna make it a sideways one. I think. Wait a minute, I really like this. Okay, so I think the dots in there and that they're darker match the kind of dots and darker dots and stuff in the bird. And I like that the bluish color is also kind of like behind the dots and down here, so it echoes the color of the head on the bird. And that there are some even grays right here, right? So it kind of, I just like the way this one echoes the bird. This one really echoes the bird. And I liked it sideways, but I think I'm going to leave it this way. Okay, so here's why. I like the way that the stencil is showing up around this edge right here and the way it kind of echoes the direction of his branch. And it echoes the branch up here. So since the stencil was part of the assignment for today, giving it a place to really shine a little bit when I'm making such a small piece and covering so much of it up, I mean, that's kind of cool, right? The reason I liked it this way kind of better is because I like heavier weight imagery on the bottom of things I make. And these dark dots and this dark corner make the bottom heavier to me, to my eyes. But I don't like the way the bird covers up the best of the leaves in the stencil in this direction. So in case you're wondering what kind of reasoning goes through my head. That is what goes through my head. Don't know if it makes any sense. Don't know if you guys share that kind of stuff with me, those kinds of thoughts and ideas, but you know what? We're all different. It's okay. It's okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to take my regular glue and I'm going to put a thin bead of glue as much on this fold as I can. You know what? I changed my mind. Yep. I'm not going to put it on the fold at all. I am going to put it on the already glued edge of the paper. And it is super thin. Like I said, there's only 7 pages. But I don't want a bunch of glue going down the sides and the front. So I'm going to make sure that I go here and push it up and make sure it's on that edge. And I'm going to do it the same in the back and make sure that that glue is sitting on this very edge. And I'm even going to then go on both sides at the same time. So there's no extra glue except all over my fingers. And then I'm going to tuck this up into the fold as much as I possibly can. I'm going to use my desk to help me get it even. And I'm going to hold this at an angle and get this point into that crease first. And then slide it down straight into place. And I didn't do it perfect. So I got glue some places I don't want it. So in order to make sure I don't glue this notebook closed, because what good is a notebook if you can't open it? There we go. Now that is just nestled right up in the crease there. And that is exactly what I want. I want this. See how it's made its own little spine? Can you see that? Oh yeah, you can. You can see that. It's not very thick. It is exactly what it needs. But I didn't need to do anything fancy because it's just that tiny. Next thing I'm going to do is fold these flaps a little better. And I've decided that I'm actually going to keep these little flaps that I originally did for, I did it just for design purposes, right? I wanted to be able to see what I was choosing. But now I'm thinking, fold this over and this can be a little pocket right there. And same on the other side, it can be a little pocket. Or I can glue it down completely and it's just going to add a little bit of stability to the notebook, which is also a good thing. So if I didn't want this, I'm totally guessing where to put the fold too, because this one was too long. Let's see if I got it right. Yeah, no. Let's scoot it up a little further. Scoot it up, scoot it up, scoot it up. There we go. Squish up there. Let's see if I got it now. I am happier with that. It's just a hair over the edge. And that's good, because then you can just grab the cover. Good, good, good. I like it. Oh, there we go. And now we have a tuck spot in the front. And we can have a tuck spot in the back as soon as I glue those down. And we have our front cover. Do we need to trim? We need to trim this bottom a little bit. Let's bring the trimmer over. See if we can get that just evened out a little bit and closer to the edge of the notepad. It's a little uneven and it's a little farther away than I'd like it. Well, I got it even, but I didn't get it any closer. I was a little too careful. That's why I love this trimmer though. Look at, I can get hair thin accuracy, or completely neurotic thin pieces that are more careful than anybody needs to be. Yeah, there's more hair thin pieces. Really did the trick though. I mean, I could do it a little more even, but I'm not gonna. Let's not fuss. Let's not fuss. This is the idea book, remember? It's supposed to just be for ideas. I want to pull out my ground espresso because I want a dark edge on this. I want a dark edge all the way around this, front and back, and especially across that top bit. So I'll do this a few times. I'll do this tipped in and straight across and tipped back. And I'm going to go over the back a little bit. Or was this the front? Wow. Okay. I'm going to have to try that again because now I can't remember and they both look good right now. Ah, I got itchy nose. Hold on. There we go. Itchy nose. Okay, and I also want, before I glue it down, to get the edges of the tucks. So you can totally see those clearer when this is all put together. Ah, such an itchy nose. I think there's cat hair floating around. I did shut the door for filming today. My cats are kind of getting used to the idea that I close the door when I'm filming. Although, when I open the door, they come running in. And sometimes when I'm filming, or before I get started, mostly, they're crying outside the door. By the time I get going, they've kind of given up. But they are so pathetic sounding. Mama, why did you close the door? All right, let's get these glued down. Come on. Didn't I put the glue the right way? I don't think I put the glue the right way. It seems a bit wrong-sided right now. Okay, there we go. Glue that one down. And the other side. And I left the glue the right way this time, so it's not. So it's more ready to go. It's more ready to go. And still, that's way too much. Way too much. Let's put half of it on this side. There we go. Nice. Glue that one down. Down. Oh, look it, guys. Okay, so I was wondering if this is the front or the back, and if this is the front or the back, but look what I did. I put the paper in backward. There's the front of the paper, and this is supposed to be the front of the book, isn't it? Because here's the branch I liked going the same way as the bird. Oh, man. Or was it this way? It was this way. Oh, well then what good is that pocket gonna do? Are you gonna put pockets upside down? You know what? I apparently can't remember if I'm doing frontward or side, or up and down, or sideways and backward, and oh, good grief. Good grief. I'm hopeless, people. Absolutely hopeless. If I did it this way, I am losing some of the stencil. That's what I didn't want to do. That's backwards anyway. So then I'd have to do it this way. That also loses a ton of the stencil, which I didn't want to do. The original way was this way, which makes the tuck spot a little on the silly side. Yeah, we're doing that. We're doing that. So the tuck spot's a little upside down. It's okay. I mean, then don't tuck anything up there. Or just be careful when you open your notebook. This is, after all, for the idea book. So honestly, the idea that I made a mistake in the idea book is actually good, because I can take a look at that in the future and go, wow, this is a really cool notebook. Wow, I really like that stencil idea and that layering the stencil on top of a printed page. And I really like the putting the birdie on the front. Oh, I don't like that tuck spot. That didn't work. So let's pay attention to that next time. So I don't mind that things might be a little wonky in my idea book. That's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I do have some extra pieces now. I should do something with this. Like, I kind of like that, right? I could do that. Maybe I'll make another one when we're off screen. Make a sideways one. Have my tuck spots the right way. All right, I think that is it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out. I will see you tomorrow for, what is it? Fabric and page tabs. Then it's grunge and snippet strips. And on the 21st, it'll be the live show on Facebook for button and tea bag. Oh, there's some on here. I just don't have a clue what I'm going to do. So, thanks for tuning in, and come on back and subscribe and like and comment and stuff. All the things. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.